Now, one more thing, and that is that in the event of a more serious mental health crisis, TLG wants you to be prepared to deal with it. It's not a great feeling to not know what to do in a situation like that. So, first of all, we hope that this never happens, but if it were to happen, how would you know that a mental health crisis was taking place? That would be it would be pretty obvious, I think, because it would be when the learner seems at the end of their rope. They might use language like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know where to turn. I'm giving up. They might say something like, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I'm crying uncontrollably. Those are signs of a crisis situation. It's not an ongoing sort of mild to moderate problem. It needs immediate supports. So if someone divulges something to you like this, it's important to ask them directly if they're thinking of suicide. There is an idea that using the word suicide can trigger people to actually follow through, but that is not the case. What I was told in my training that I took to learn about this was that by asking, you're opening the door for them to confide in you, and then you know how serious the problem is. That having been said, we were also told that thoughts of suicide are fairly common when someone is feeling stressed or down. So thought of suicide does not need a call to 911, for example. However, if you ask the learner, are they thinking of suicide? And they say yes. The next question you need to ask is, do you have a plan for suicide? That's a whole different thing. If they say yes, a plan for suicide is needing instant intervention because it can very, very quickly move to that. So if a plan is taking place, if they say, yes, I have a plan, that is a 911 call. So this is something that is your responsibility to call 911. The very next thing you would do after that call is to call Chris, the executive director of TLG, because he needs to know immediately and help with that learner being supported. TLG is developing a Tutor online crisis intervention guide, and there's a downloadable infographic. So these are like instant access to this information that you can download and put on your fridge or put somewhere nearby so that you don't have to have these points memorized, because it's stressful in the situation, very stressful, and you want to be able to make sure that this is handled properly. Okay, moving on. If the learner, so let's say they've confided that they have a very serious struggle, you've asked them if they're thinking of suicide, they said yes. If you've asked them, is there a plan, they've said no. It's okay to proceed as you would with the other issues that they might have divulged to you. You reassure them, validate that it's okay to feel this way, that they're not alone, and explain to them that you're going to have to let your coordinator know. Now, in this case, if you're feeling like they're kind of having a crisis moment, you're going to let the coordinator know immediately, but you don't have to call 911 if they don't have the suicide plan. So let them know that you'll let the coordinator know, and the coordinator will reach out as quickly as possible with supports. In the meantime, you don't want them to just hang there waiting and being alone. So it's definitely a great idea to suggest that they call a 24/7 mental health hotline, which there's many of them available. And again, that's going to be on a handout that is being put on TLG's website.